Well, I've been in HR now for 21 years, and the initial attraction was the people element. I very much enjoy meeting new people, making networks, building up new contacts, and that was the vehicle to enable me to take a profession that actually agreed to my likes. And it was also dealing with different cultures, different countries. We were going global, and I felt that it was a fantastic avenue for me to explore other cultures and also build upon my people management skills. I also enjoy problem solving, and no 2 days in HR are the same. You can be dealing with various challenges and diversity, and what I mean by diversity is you can be dealing with recruitment or designing a reward program, and then dealing with a poor performing employee. Many companies have their HQ in another country and operate on a global basis with offices in many outside of their domestic domain companies, and Huawei in itself is no different to that. What is different is that it's so diverse. The culture is so different. So, for example, we will have a directive come from headquarters where they may want to introduce a standard global policy. However, when that comes over to Europe, we have numerous local employment legislation. So we will then have to dilute that somewhat to comply with local laws. Added to the mix is also the fact that Europe in itself has many different local laws. So what starts as one global policy can end up as about another 30 policies to comply with local law. However, what must remain consistent is the principle of the headquarters global policy. We must comply with what they want to achieve, which is a very strong culture and a very strong work ethic. Yes, absolutely. There are very distinct differences in working styles. Every style has a strong point and every style has a weak point. But one thing that always remains constant is the end goal, the end objective. I personally found that fundamentally the Europeans are not as flexible as the Chinese. They are more resistant to change and they will question, whereas the Chinese accept wholeheartedly that change is a good thing and change is inevitable, and they will not question as much as Europeans. The Chinese management style is hierarchical, so management is very much directive, with the instructions coming from the top down, and then it's for the local offices and the employees then to execute upon that directive. However, the Europeans will always want to challenge and push back up and question. However, the Chinese style is very much you do not challenge up, as it's disrespectful. So sometimes that can create its own challenges in order to execute upon a directive, that sometimes you need to compromise in how you deal with the various employees. Chinese consider information is shared on a need-to-know basis. So you may only get one portion of the story because that's the piece that you are involved in. However, the Europeans will want to know the whole picture. They feel if they know the whole picture, then they can execute the task more effectively. Huawei fully acknowledges the importance of ensuring that you have the right employees and you have the talent to grow the business. Therefore, we take graduate intakes into the organisation, and given the fact that the culture is so diverse, the Chinese culture is so strong and the work ethic is so strong, in order to transition graduates, we are this month implementing a new programme where 8 students from the UK, from Southampton primarily, are going over to headquarters to learn the culture, learn the language, and work in our headquarters in Shenzhen for a period of 5 weeks, so they can fully experience the culture firsthand in order that they can transition into the organisation and become performing employees as quickly as possible. The HR strategy absolutely underpins the business strategy. The business strategy will focus on the business growth. HR then must translate that into the people management side. It's very important that in order to achieve the business goals and targets, we must structure programs to attract and retain key skills, key competencies in order to nurture a high-performing teams within the company. It is a very competitive market for talent, and unless we have programs that enable us to attract these key skills, we will not be able to sustain our growth. So HR plays a pivotal role in managing the organisation's talent. Senior management at Huawei fully recognises the importance of HR Huawei to an organisation's bottom line and overall success. So I feel certainly at Huawei, HR has moved on from being perceived as an administrative function to being a true business partner. I would say entering the HR profession is a start of a very long journey, and you have to view that as a long journey, and potentially it will lead to a great career. However, the candidates, the graduates, must be willing to commit themselves to it through hard work and dedication. It is vitally important to continually develop your knowledge, never get complacent and never get comfortable. To begin, HR can be a difficult profession to break into, so it may be necessary to start off as something along the lines of an HR assistant. However, if you demonstrate good work, achievement orientation and dedication and a willingness to embrace new responsibilities, that way you can demonstrate that you are willing to develop your career within HR. One thing I will say is always expect the unexpected. And whatever you are faced with, always remain professional and in control.